grant program, which launched in September 2011. During the 10-year period, 151 applications were submitted, of which 129 received approval for funding. So now we've transitioned to this. If you could go to the next slide, please. Thank you. So the Student Research and Innovation Grants Pilot Program, which I will refer to as the SRIGs going forward, features two streams of funding. Stream 1, extracurricular, up to $3,500, will support student salary and up to $1,500 for other expenses such as supplies and equipment, research participant payments, and conference travel to present a paper. Stream 2, curricular, will provide funding to support research projects conducted by honor students. Similar to Stream 1, eligible expenses may include supplies and equipment, research participant payments, and conference travel up to $1,500. Slide 3. Guiding principles. Students will engage in partnerships with a KPU educator, an industry or community partner on a research and innovation project. Project must be linked to at least one UN Sustainable Development Goals. SRIG grant supports the students with salary and expenses while working with a KPU advisor and partner. Slide 4. The idea of a project may come from the student, advisor, or partner. Funding from other sources to support the program are encouraged. For example, the 0.6 PD Fund Committee allows for up to $3,000 to support student salary. So that's an example of other support. Application to the SRIG program must be made by the student and endorsed and submitted by the KPU advisor. Specifically within the SRIG application in Romeo, the application details and project details tab must be completed by the student as the applicant. The compliance for proposed project tab must be completed by the advisor as the principal investigator. So that's something you obviously have to log into Romeo to really get a clear idea of what that is all about. And students may qualify for a digital badge upon completion of the project. Next slide. The process flow diagram describes the steps of a SRIG's application cycle. Students and advisors must register for an account in Romeo to complete and submit an application. And there's all sorts of links there that you can refer to for accessing more information. And next slide. The deadline for the first call of the pilot program is December 1st for projects starting in fall 2021 and spring 2022. All expenses must be incurred prior to fiscal year end, March 31st, 2022, and no cost extensions will be considered. We're anticipating a 2-week turnaround time on communicating results to students and advisors. And that's our quick little overview. And next slide, and we're open for questions.
Good morning. I just got a quick question for you.
Okay.
When I'm actually applying for the grant online, as a principal investigator, my name would come up first, and that's the only way to save the application online.
Mm-hmm.
And so once I actually put my advisor's name as a principal investigator, would I put my name down as the additional study member? Would that be appropriate to do so, or is that something that would be, the advisor would let know that the other individuals working on the study?
Well, there'll be there's different titles, and yours would be like the student would be the applicant. So there's a drop down menu that you can select from, and you would select applicant.
Okay, perfect.
To identify your role in the project.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I see Farhad's got his hand up. I don't know.
Yes, that's right. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Great. Thank you for this presentation, Kathy. This is fantastic. Question is, I have KPU student alumni working in the virtual reality lab. Are they permitted to apply to this grant?
No, it's for current students only,
I see.
active
Okay.
students only, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Virgil?
Yes, hello, Kathy. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I was just wondering, is the external partner a necessary, is that a precondition for
No.
the, no, okay.
No, it's an option. It's not, Emmett, I'm correct in that, right? It doesn't, we don't have, it doesn't have to be a partner or external partner, but it's.
Yes, you are correct, Kathy. We don't need an external partner, but sometimes depending on the project the faculty is selecting, there is a value add that an external partner or a company person might bring. So in that case, definitely you can have that. And the other advantage of having an external partner is that sometimes they bring some sort of support, but whether it is cash or in kind, which can add value to your project. So it is always, we always encourage for you to have other external partners so that you can have more knowledge transfer also happening that way.
Yeah, thank you. I did have one other question. You said the deadline for the December 1st deadline was for fall 2021 projects. Did you mean fall 2022 or?
Fall 2021 and spring 2022. Because we have funding right now to take us to end of fiscal year.
Okay. All right, thank you.
So your project can basically start now in
Okay.
December in the fall term and can continue over into the next spring term.
Great, thank you.
And going forward, you know, it just depends on our funding that we receive for next fiscal year. So we're gonna, you know, cross that bridge when we get to it, basically. But we're hoping that we'll be able to have this competition again next fiscal year.
Hi, this is Jim. I'm thinking just on that point, Kathy, in terms of continuing projects or where projects have legs that could carry them over the term of the student. I don't know whether any of the potential PIs on the call have any ideas as to, is that easy or difficult, or do things need to be put in place to help continuity beyond this term of the individual student? So that was something I've heard with some conversations across.
Are you speaking in terms of the project continuing or the funding continuing?
Well, it will be contingent on new funding, but
Right.
the project itself or new or leveraging an existing project. So the work's done, students happy, PI's happy, KPU's happy, but maybe there's more that could be done. And do the ideas and momentum sort of dissipate at the end of the student's term? And you know, how can we avoid that if that's something that faculty want to avoid or see that there's value there?
Maybe I can take that question, Kathy.
Okay.
So Jim, that is a very good point, and that is exactly the intent of this program, so that the research intensity maintains. And so the idea is that if, for example, I'll answer in two parts. First, if there is opportunity for the project to continue beyond March 31st, we will evaluate that on a case-by-case basis, and if there is funding remaining in the award, it can be continued. But as Kathy mentioned, we are hoping, very hopeful, that we will have more funding to start in summer months, April onwards. And so Deepak and I, we have talked about it, and there is a possibility that we might be able to have some continuity going into or continuing the project beyond the student project itself. So we are definitely thinking about it.
That's great. Thanks, Amit. Maybe I'll ask a question to some of the faculty or students. Are you aware of similar activities in other institutions that might be worth just sharing while everybody's together? That's fine. I'm looking at this as a point of, one of the additional selling points for KPU. Why would you want to come to stay to work to study at KPU? So I think this is a great opportunity that is presenting itself.
Hi all.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Kathy. It's
Oh,
Wade.
hi, Wade. I was just going to say that for the SRIG grant program, students qualify for one stream 1 grant, and if they go to honors, then they could qualify for a stream 2 grant, or yes, stream 2 grant.
Oh, that's interesting. I wasn't aware of that part. I was having trouble joining, so I missed a bit of the intro preamble stuff. Can you talk about what the reporting requirements are associated with the grants?
Amit, do you want to cover that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so there is a requirement that at the end of the project, there will be a report. Just for every funding that is provided anywhere, you have to have some accountability associated with that. So there is a final report that is required, and it will be very simple report indicating how the objectives were met and what is the outcome, and how the expenses were used, basically, or the funding was used. So that we have some metrics to go forward, so that we can enhance the program going forward. So there will be, it's a very simple report that will be required.
Okay, great. I think that's really helpful. And how long is this a pilot, or how long is this program? How long are we trying this program out?
So right now, the program, we are the current funding envelope that we have is good till end of March 31st, 2022. But we are hoping that we will have more funding available depending on how this program, the pilot goes. And we are also applying for other funding, and hopefully this will become a more of a permanent program for student research.
Great. And is there an evaluation then that's going to occur at the end of the first pilot to kind of get an overall sense of how much engagement there was, how much, benefit, that kind of stuff?
Definitely, we will be looking at, this is as every pilot is, we will evaluate and see how the things went. And if there's anything we can change or tweak to make it more, fruitful for the student. The idea is basically to support student research. And so whatever we need to do, whatever learnings we will have over the first pilot project, we will implement that going forward.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And we're encouraging people to apply. It's been a little bit of a slow uptick so far, so please, get your applications in.
We have a question from Virgo.
Yes, thank you. So you mentioned that the student has to be in an honors program is that for stream 2?
Mm-hmm.
Now our physics degree is it's a 4-year Bachelor of Science major, but it's not an honors program, but they do have a 2-semester capstone project in the 4th year.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be eligible?
I believe so. Emmett,
Yes.
do you agree with
Yes.
that? Yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
Any capstone project or honors project is eligible for the stream 2.
Great. Did you say stream? I'm not sure if I heard you correctly, but did you say stream 1 is a prerequisite for stream 2?
And no, it is not.
Okay. And just one more comment related to what Jim said. So yeah, I think this is a great initiative for KPU, partly because in science, for example, our students are not eligible for the NSERC undergraduate student research awards. So this will be great to, you know, take the place of that, or hopefully fill in that gap. So
Wonderful.
thanks.
I'm going to throw in another question to the audience. Is there anything more we in the Research and Innovation Division and ORS can do to promote this program, to encourage uptake and to raise awareness?
Can I jump in here? It's Wade Deisman again. And I think Deepak is already aware of this, but the Faculty of Arts is currently in the process of forming an undergraduate network for students who are interested in research, scholarship, and creative activity. And so that will have students sign up and create profiles for themselves and identify opportunities that they're interested in terms of research, scholarship, creative activity. And I think it would be great to organize a special session for students who are members of that network to let them know about these kinds of opportunities. Because all indications in arts are anyway, that students really are starting to see the kind of transformational value-added benefits of these kinds of experiences. And so they just want to be able to see ways that they can find to get into them. And especially if there are kind of, you know, monies, financial support available, I think that's an additional inducement. So, you know, just kind of special audiences with special groups would help for sure.
Wade, do you have any links or contact that we can connect right away to get that word into the network as it is being developed?
Yes, I absolutely do. You can connect with myself and Paul Fader, who is an honors student in philosophy, is our student manager's assistant on this whole project. So I'll send you my coordinates and his, and I can send you a link, and I'd be happy to show you how the network works now. And actually what I'm thinking is, why don't we make a tile on our landing page that will showcase the things that you're doing.
Wonderful. That will be perfect. So Wade, if Kathy and I can connect with you maybe next week sometime to get that would be great.
Sure, that sounds good.
Wonderful. Thanks.
Can I also, if this doesn't complicate, but it's with good intent, EDI, equity, diversity, inclusion, I know that's been in everybody's minds. If there's a way, if anyone in the audience, to Amit's point, has connections or ideas to help promote specifically to certain groups which might not otherwise even think about. So there's the through faculty, through departments, through study areas, but also through that typology, the type of individual who may be thinking this isn't for me, and not realizing this is something they can do. If anyone has any ideas of individuals or web pages to help promote this, that would be great too.
Yes, thanks, Jim. That will help.
This is for Hajar. I do have an idea in response to Jim's question.
Go ahead.
So if I don't know if the ORS has identified all of the labs at KPU in the different disciplines and departments, but that would be a very quick way to get the word out. So as I'm in this meeting, I'm at this in parallel texting my students in the virtual reality lab. I have 8 students there, as well as some collaborators from other disciplines. So that's a low-hanging fruit that you should approach and collect that information.
Wonderful. That is exactly the type of network that we want to reach, Farhad. And so sometimes it is very hard for us to know who the contact person is to disseminate this information. So right. Yeah, definitely very much. If you could send some, if there's anything that we can do to inform your students and others within your faculty, your colleagues who might be able to do that, that would be very helpful.
We have about, I think, 6 or 7 research labs in the psychology department. So I'll send you the emails of those faculty as well as their lab website. Should I send it to you, Amit, or to?
Yeah, me or and copy Kathy. Both of us will make sure that it gets to them.
Okay, you'll get that soon.
Thank you. Any other questions from students or faculty? I see there's some comments. I can't read them very well here. Daria, do we have any questions in the chat? I can't see them on my phone.
It's been answered.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay, in this case, we will stop recording and sharing the presentation at this point. Thank you so much for joining. And if you have any more questions, please feel free to email us on an ongoing basis, right? And our department will do our best to facilitate additional presentations, answer the questions.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for
Thank you
joining.
so much.
And feel free, as Daria said, feel free to reach out to us, and we will be more than happy to assist with your questions or whatever information you might be needing. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.